Sairam students, welcome to yet another lecture of English literature. Today we are going to start with our fourth chapter from the textbook First Flight. And the name of the chapter is From the Diary of Anne Frank. Let me tell you about the authoress. Anne Frank was born on 12 June 1929 and she died somewhere in the month of February or March in 1945. She was a German Jew. This Jewish girl wrote the diary of Anne Frank while in hiding with her family and 4 friends in Amsterdam during the Nazis' occupation of the Netherlands in World War. In this diary, Anne expresses her thoughts, which she writes about her childhood, and this diary was gifted to her on her 13th birthday. She names the diary Kitty, which she considers as her only true friend. And in this diary, she mentions about her childhood, her family, and a lot other things that she told no one else. After 2 years in hiding, the group was betrayed and transported to a concentration camp in Bergen, where Anne and her elder sister Margot died of typhus in 1945. Her father, Otto, the only survivor of the group, found her diary and got it published in English under the name The Diary of a Young Girl. And this particular chapter, it has been reproduced. The part of the diary is reproduced in this chapter. It is mainly about the days when Anne was a schoolgirl and she and her family, they had not yet moved to the secret quarters. Okay, so the introduction of the chapter, what it tells you? It is an excerpt from Diary of a Young Girl or The Diary of Anne Frank. It is an autobiography that was first published in 1947. So students, let's start with this chapter. Writing in a diary is a really strange experience for someone like me. Not only because I have never written anything before, but also because it seems to me that later on, neither I nor anyone else will be interested in the musings of a 13-year-old schoolgirl. Oh well, it doesn't matter. I feel like writing. And I have an even greater need to get all kinds of things off my chest. Now, the new word that we have come across here is musings, which means a period of reflection or thought. The author here says, the author feels that it is strange and unusual for her to write in a diary about her feelings and experiences because it was the first time she was doing it. And she feels this because she thinks about it in the future. That in the future, no one would be interested in reading about a young schoolgirl's past. She thinks that later, even she will not be interested in reading it. So what does she say? That even though no one is interested, but then she wants to put these thoughts away. She wants to take them off her chest. And hence she decides to write it. And she feels that there are a lot of thoughts that she had been holding on for a while. She has been holding on to lately. And hence she wanted to get them off her mind. And that is one of the main reasons that she wants to write her diary. Students, we also know that writing one's thoughts acts as a therapy. So she makes a decision of writing a diary. Paper has more patience than people. I thought of this saying on one of those days when I was feeling a little depressed and was sitting at home with my chin in my hands, bored and listless, wondering whether to stay in or go out. I finally stayed where I was, brooding. Yes, paper does have more patience. And since I am not planning to let anyone else read this stiff-backed notebook, grandly referred to as a diary, unless I should ever find a real friend. It probably won't make a bit of difference. Now, I am back to the point that prompted me to keep a diary in the first place. I don't have a friend. So here the author feels that paper has much more capacity to absorb thoughts than people. People have low patience levels. Okay, but a piece of paper, being a non-living thing, would not refuse from absorbing her thoughts. So this realization came to her one day when she was feeling very sad and confused. Why confused? She was not able to decide whether she should stay at home or she should go out. Finally, when she decided to stay at home, she was feeling quite depressed and she was in deep thought. Again, she thought that since paper has more patience, she decided to write. She decided to write everything that came in her mind. And she decided that she did not intend on making someone read her diary unless she found a real friend. Now, what does she mean by real friend? Someone with whom she would share all her secrets. Okay, so the author then comes back to the same point where she thought of beginning to write. And why she decided? She specified here why she decided to write. She was lonely and she has no friend to talk to. Okay. The certain new words that we came across. Listless. Listless means with no energy, no interest. Brooding. Brooding means engaging in a deep thought, engaged in or showing deep thought about something. Something that makes one angry, sad, or worried. Prompted refers to provoke. Okay, so moving ahead, let me put it more clearly. Since no one will believe that a 13-year-old girl is completely alone in the world, and I am not. I have loving parents and a 16-year-old sister, and there are about 30 people I can call friends. I have a family, loving aunts, and a good home. No, on the surface, I seem to have everything except my one true friend. All I think about when I am with friends is having a good time. I can't bring myself to talk about anything but ordinary everyday things. We don't seem to be able to get any closer, and that's the problem. Maybe it's my fault that we don't confide in each other. In any case, that's just how things are, and unfortunately, they are not liable to change. This is why I have started the diary. Confide here refers to tell something personal, tell personal things privately to a person that one can trust. Liable refers to likelier. Okay, so let me explain this to you. See, the authoress then goes on explaining why she feels the need of a friend. Why she feels the need for a friend. She feels that no one is going to believe that a young girl like her is so alone, which practically she is not, because she has a loving family, near about 30 people that can be called friends, loving aunts, and a good place to stay. So this completely depicts a clear picture of a happy family. But the one thing that lacks in her life is the presence of a true friend. She says that she does have a good time with friends, but they discuss everything, but still she feels that she cannot share her personal things with any of them. So despite trying hard, she is unable to get closer to any of them. And she feels that maybe it's because of her. Maybe because she doesn't trust anyone. She doesn't trust anyone with her, with her private stuff. She doesn't want to share her private things. Okay, her secrets. She is not able to come close to any of her friends. So she also feels that the current situation cannot be changed, and thus she needs to write her feelings in the diary. So, in this paragraph, basically she explains the need, why she wants a friend. Because though she is among a group of people around her, she still doesn't find the right person whom she can call her real friend. To enhance the image of this long-awaited friend in my imagination, I don't want to jot down the facts in this diary the way most people would do. But I want the diary to be my friend. And I am going to call this friend Kitty. Since no one would understand a word of my stories to Kitty if I were to plunge right in, I would better provide a brief sketch of my life, much as I dislike doing so. So, here enhance refers to intensify, increase, or further improve the quality or value. Plunge, it basically means, here it means jump, dive quickly, or come to a quick decision, or if I were to plunge right in, if I were to dive in, or I want to quickly decide on something. So what she says here is, usually when someone is writing in a diary, they list down all the facts about them in a formal manner, which the author doesn't want to do. She doesn't want to do this. This is because she wanted to give her need for a friend a shape, and thus, decide the name of the diary. And what did she name the diary as? Kitty, hoping that someone would read her diary one day. She thinks that writing without giving details about the background story, would be ineffective. So despite not wanting to do so, she gives a brief detail about her life. Actually, she is not interested in discussing about her life. But in case someone reads it, they need to know about her background. Hence, she decides to give a brief details about her life. My father. So here, in this paragraph, she tells us about her family. My father, the most adorable father I have ever seen, didn't marry my mother until he was 36 and she was 25. My sister Margot was born in Frankfurt in Germany in 1926. I was born on 12th June 1929. I lived in Frankfurt until I was 4. My father emigrated to Holland in 1933. My mother, Edith Hollander Frank, went with him to Holland in September, while Margot and I were sent to Aachen to stay with our grandmother. Margot went to Holland in December and I followed in February, when I was plunked down on the table as a birthday present for Margot. Adorable, what does it mean? Lovable. Emigrated, that means leave one's own country in order to settle permanently in some other country. Okay, leaving your own country and in order to settle in some other country. Plunked. Plunked means put down. So here she was plunked down on the table, which means she was put down on a table as a birthday gift for Margot. That is her elder sister. So what does she tell us about her family? She refers her father here as the most lovable father one could ever get. Her father married her mother when he was at the age of 36 and her mother, she was just 25. She and her sister Margot were both born in Frankfurt. As soon as Anne turned 4, her father moved to Holland, followed by her mother in September. While both the sisters, they stayed with their grandmother in Aachen. Margot was also sent to Holland in December, followed by Anne. So then Margot was also sent, but in the month of December, followed by Anne. So Anne went in the month of February. She was brought as a birthday present for Margot. Okay. Now, moving ahead. I started right away at the Montessori Nursery School. I stayed there until I was 6, at which time I started in the first form. In the 6th form, my teacher was Mrs. Caprice, the headmistress. At the end of the year, we said a heartbreaking farewell. In the summer of 1941, Grandma fell ill and had to have an operation. So my birthday passed with little celebration. What is a farewell? It is an act of parting or of making someone's departure. Okay, so when this farewell took place. Okay, farewell is a kind of an act of parting away. Now in Holland, what she says, Anne was sent to, where was she sent? To a Montessori nursery school. And this was her first school. She started from first form. She had Mrs. Caprice, the headmistress, as her teacher in sixth form, who even cried at the time of farewell. In 1941, what happened at that time? The author, that is Anne's birthday, could not be celebrated well. Why? Because her grandmother fell ill and underwent an operation. That's why the celebration was not that great. Moving ahead. Grandma died in January 1942. No one knows how often I think of her and still love her. This birthday celebration in 1942 was intended to make up for the other, and Grandma's candle was lit along with the rest. The four of us are still doing well, and that brings me to the present date of 20th June 1942 and the solemn dedication of my diary. Okay, so let me tell you certain words over here. Intended refers to planned. Solemn refers to, a kind of, it is characterized by deep sincerity towards something. Dedication refers to commitment. So now here, the authoress, Anne, says that unfortunately her grandmother, she left them in January 1942. Anne misses her grandmother more than anyone knows about it. And that particular year's birthday was to be celebrated with great zeal so as to compensate for last year's. Okay, last year she could not celebrate her birthday because grandma was ill. But the next year, that is this year, she was saying that, her birthday celebration went really well. It was celebrated with great zeal. She then mentions that her family was doing well, which sums up her background and brings her to the present state, the present date of 20th June 1942, when she is writing her diary. Now let's see what she writes in her diary. Dearest Kitty, our entire class. Okay, this diary is dated Saturday, 20th June 1942. Dearest Kitty, our entire class is quacking in its boots. Quacking refers to shake or tremble. The reason, of course, is the forthcoming meeting in which the teachers decide who will move up to the next form and who will be kept back. Half the class is making bets. Okay, half the class is making bets. GN and I laugh ourselves silly at the two boys behind us, CN and Checks, who have staked their entire holiday savings on their bet. Staked, they had chanced, they had bet on that. From morning to night, it's, you're going to pass. No, I'm not. Yes, you are. No, I'm not. Even G's pleading glances and my angry outburst can't calm them down. If you ask me, there are so many dummies that about a quarter of the class should be kept back. But teachers are the most unpredictable creatures on earth. Okay, pleading here refers to making an emotional appeal. Okay, making an emotional appeal, a request. Glances, taking a brief and a quick hurried look. Outburst refers to a sudden release of strong emotions. When you pass or when you fail or when you get good marks. So, a sudden release of strong emotions is known as outburst. Dummies, an object designed to resemble and serve as a substitute for real one. Okay, not the original, but a substitute for the original one. Unpredictable. Unpredictable means which cannot be predictable. which cannot be predicted. So students, here in her diary, Anne begins writing her diary on 20th June 1942. And in her diary, she is addressing her diary as a friend Kitty. She mentions how her entire class is nervous about their results. It is unpredictable and it will be decided by a meeting of teachers in which they will select which student is to be moved to the next class or which student is to be kept back. So many students were making bets. Now, some had put in their entire summer savings at stake. Okay, they had bet on it. She and her friend, who was a friend, G, also made fun of the nervous boys. They kept on saying to each other, what they were saying, I'm not going to pass, while others would console them and say, yes, you would. So G was polite as she tried to stop them from making noise. While Anne scolded them, Anne used to get angry. She used to scold at them. But none of it worked. Okay, the boys still continuously made those noises. According to Anne, about a quarter of the class should not be allowed to pass because they hardly respond, or they hardly, according to her, they don't take part in any of the activities and they hardly respond to any of the activities that happen. So she refers to them as dummies. Dummies, which are something which is not original, a copy of the original one. But this may not be the case. Why? Because according to her, teachers' decision cannot be predicted. Right? So with this, we come to an end of this lecture. The remaining part of the lesson will be continued in the next lecture. Right? So thank you so much. Have a good time.